Hello, Aries. I hope everybody's doing great. Really great to see you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of energy is coming through for the month of March. This is for March 2020, and we'll be incorporating, by the way, Apollo just wanted to say hi. I'm going to let him get back to his nap now. We'll be incorporating messages for 4 to 6 weeks because, as you know, I do all of these live, and that allows you to have a little bit extra time to look about a month in advance and start to plan this. So whether you're watching it now or you're watching it during the month of March, you'll have all the information that you need to really successfully navigate through things. I'm here to lay out a roadmap, and I can't wait to get into all of the messages coming through for you today. So I'd like to start off by saying that I think this is going to be a really impactful reading today because 2 or 3 times this morning I was awakened with messages. So my guides wouldn't let me sleep, and I wrote down all of the information, and it also helped me organize what I was going to be doing for all signs this month. As you know, with this new live format, at the end of each reading, I do something special. We looked at manifestation last month, and this month, what I really want to focus on is how we can successfully help you heal things. And because many of you are going to be watching me during the month of February for March, I wanted to incorporate love, but not in the traditional sort of, movie or Hallmark sort of way. I'm looking at love with a capital L. And this is unconditional love, self-love. I would even say self-confidence, healing anything that needs to be healed in your heart space or in your past, and really forgiveness as well. Because when you experience this kind of love, loving yourself, loving others, letting go of pain in your life, this is what's going to allow you to open up to all of the opportunities around you, both in love and abundance. So we'll be focusing on that at the end. I hope many of you can stick around for both the 3-card pull that I do and also that meditation, because I really feel like your sign needs and wants to have a healing happen. So we'll organically create a meditation based on the messages that I'm going to receive as we go through the rest of the reading here. So yes, I'm glad you guys understand love with a capital L. It's a big difference from just sort of what we see in the movies. It's really loving with the heart, the soul, and I think one of the things that I really want to say is that last portion that I do is about the soul. So we look at, at the beginning, health, wealth, love, and destiny, but the big thing at the end is how can we get your soul in a place where it's grounded, where it's healed, and where it's open for all of the stuff that we kind of bring through right before that. So I've jumped ahead of myself a little bit just because there's so much coming through. So let me get to the basics here. First of all, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and it's so great to see everybody today. I love starting off with your sign because there's a lot of energy, a lot of interest, and it's always interesting. So like I said, I can't wait to get into what's coming through. Before I get started, just a little bit of business so that I can answer some of the frequently asked questions that pop up in chat. This can be used for your sun, your rising, and your moon sign. And if you don't know all 3, don't panic. Just stick with your birth sign, and that's going to be enough. The other thing that I'd like to say is that because we have chat here, a lot of other readers will do Q&A style readings. This is not that. I don't do pick a card. You're here to watch a live reading, a live download, and a live meditation. At the very end, we can interact a little bit, but during the course of the reading, you can comment on what I'm saying, but I'm not going to answer specific questions. So I just want to set that expectation up. However, one way that you can show support and let me know that you care about what you're seeing is through Super Chat. So if you want to send a sticker or say, I really love what you're doing, and put that in Super Chat, thank you so much. I will acknowledge that after the video goes live, just so that I don't interrupt the flow. But I do appreciate it, and all of your encouragement means a lot. So thank you in advance. I also want to let you know that this is a really nice, safe space here. I have 2 great moderators that help out, Ryan and Maria. So treat them nicely, treat them with respect. They're here to help answer some questions as I'm talking. So thanks, guys, for helping me do what I'm doing. The format today is going to be as follows. I always like to start off with channeled messages. Like I said, I started to receive that way in advance of the session today. I meditate before I get started, but a lot of times I'm awakened. And today I had a lot of messages, and I'll share those in a second. Then we'll get to a Celtic Cross. And then we're going to focus on health, wealth, love, and destiny in the expanded forecast. As I said at the end, we do a little bit of work with the soul as well, which is going to really surround healing this month. At the very end, I'll talk about how you can give back. My moderators will intermittently put this out there as well, but you can book an appointment, you can become a patron. Again, you can engage with Super Chat or join me on social media. But let's get to that later, and let's talk about what I was receiving in dreams and meditations for many hours actually this morning. So the first thing that I saw was actually that many of you are going to be in a place right now where I feel like you've made a lot of progress and you have this vision of where you want to go. I saw sort of like a rocket taking off in the air, but then I saw it getting sort of pushed into a different trajectory. And so basically, I think that for you, there's a chance for you to look and see, am I happy with the path that I'm on? But there might be someone also trying to distract you. So what I wrote here is that if it feels good, if you know what you're doing, if you know who you are and you know that this is the right thing, then first and foremost, stay true to your original course, to what your heart desires, to what you're trying to create, whether that's living healthier, thinking healthier, starting a new job, whatever it is you're trying to create in this new year. Stay true to that path and realize that a lot of times the naysayers that come in, whether they're friends, family, or coworkers, sometimes they can't meet the frequency that you're at. And I've talked about this before in some of my intuitive development series videos, but whenever you raise in frequency, you have a chance to, well, your friends and family and the people in your energy have a chance to either come to that same frequency or maybe even go a little bit above it. If they don't, they usually fall away. And so what happens sometimes is people panic and they kind of act up or misbehave or try to pull you back into their frequency. So know this. The distraction that comes through, this intercept that I was kind of seeing symbolically with that rocket in the air, it is a sign that you're actually doing the right thing. You're making some progress. Some people may go into panic mode because they're afraid of like losing step or losing pace with you, and they want to make sure that you stay in their circle. So just intuit to them and sort of send the message to them that, you know, they're important to you, but basically this is your path, this is your truth, and you have to go on that path if it feels right. So as we look at the cards here, we'll see if there's some additional messages around who that might be or what kind of the distraction you might be sort of experiencing. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and give the cards a shuffle and see what's going on. And again, I want to encourage you by saying it feels like you're heading in the right direction. Don't let someone knock you off of that path. Know that the fact that they're speaking up means that obviously you're doing something well, and you might even be unnerving them a bit. All right, at this point, I'd like to shuffle the cards. I see we have a new member that joined. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member, by the way. I'm going to be quiet while I do this. I'll rejoin you in just a second after I have laid out everything, so please be patient. Interesting. Okay. All righty, we had a card pop out there at the end. We'll look at that in a second, but I'd like to begin with your catalyst message. For those of you that are new, the catalyst functions as a connective thread. It helps really kind of set the tone for what we're going to look at. It also contains within it a message of how to stay on path, how to really stay in the higher frequency energy that I was talking about. So we have a love card, which is really appropriate since I was talking about loving and self-healing being part of the soul energy that we want to focus on later. The message here says, I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. The fact that this is reverse can show that for some of you, it's difficult this month, perhaps because someone can kind of get under your skin or knows how to press your buttons or has just sort of acted in a way that isn't quite right. And so you're trying to figure out, how can I love this person, or how can I better support them if this is kind of the energy they're bringing forth? And I think the important thing is to remember that we have to act as models sometimes of the sort of energy that we expect to receive in return. And also remember, love is a currency. So sometimes when I look at the Pentacles cards, the immediate thing is to think of time or energy or money, but it's also love. And so how do you want to spend the currency of love? If somebody is not willing to take that investment and appreciate it and then also return it, then that's a message to you that maybe it's time to spend it differently and with someone else and on someone else. Because it is important to see the good in all things, but the other thing is that goes right back to you. And this month, because I have a sort of reflective energy around love, I would say love yourself, take care of yourself. And if somebody is kind of taking away from that, love yourself enough to also invest differently as well. So that was actually an intuitive message that I got with this. And that's why it might be hard for some of you to continue to put that love out there. But in all this is just saying to kind of expect people to act in the best light possible and try to see the best things that you can. If someone shows themselves in a different light, though, and can't sort of evolve or meet that sort of level that you're at, remember what I was talking about. Some of you might have people that want to kind of like fall away because they're just not ready yet. So instead of what comes to mind, even though I don't see it here, is like the Judgment card. Judgment can be harsh sometimes. So it isn't up to us. It isn't up to me. When I talk to someone and I have a one-on-one session, I'm not there to judge. I'm just there to kind of help lay out opportunities. And that's what I'm here to do as well. And with this, I think it's saying same thing with people in your life. If someone is in a difficult place or acting in a sort of an unusual way, don't cast judgment on them. Just keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and keep moving in your life. I think that's the important thing there. The Center card is really supporting that as well, because we're looking at strength here, but she's reversed. Two things with strength. First of all, in the reverse state, it can actually show fatigue, or that there's something going on where your energy's like not being grounded and it's not being taken care of. The other thing is that there could be someone in your life where you actually can't control them, because there is a dominance within this card. You usually see the woman kind of opening the mouth of the beast. And whenever I see that, first of all, it shows that you don't really need to do that. You have strength, you don't have to show it. If you believe it, people can kind of feel it. But sometimes it's not a good investment. So this could be an ornery, relative, an older relative that's stuck in their ways, a boss that has a hard time letting go of things. They're a busybody. They're like a helicopter mom that comes into your life and won't kind of give you the space that you need to make your own decisions, make your own mistakes. And so pull back a little bit from that strength card in reverse if it exists in your life. All of those examples are good sort of indications of what it might show up as. And then look at yourself. Is there anything that you're doing where you're not allowing people to make mistakes, grow, come to you for help? So a lot of times we'll get that with Queen of Wands too. But for this one, the reason that I think it's important to restrain a little bit and let people be is because the strength card can show that you could be exhausting yourself. It's not the best use of your time, your energy, and perhaps for some of you also of your love. So I just want you to kind of look at that and see how it feels for you. Instead, we have the Chariot card here, which is just showing to manage other aspects of your life. If there's anything that you're trying to launch this month, the fact that I saw the sort of rocket launching is a good symbol, but I also see Strength, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Three of Cups. This is a good time to do that. I'm seeing actually a lot of and Two of Cups. Like I see really great energy around announcements, launches, and new beginnings. So this is a really good time for that. I would say the important thing for you is not to cede or give up power. You want to stay in control. So if there's somebody in your midst, whether it was maybe a business partner, a family member, or a coworker that won't let you do what you need to do, that's the fight that's worth fighting. That's where you should stand up. I would say other people in your life, pick and choose those battles, but there's going to be one key thing this month where it's about your path, your journey, your voice, and you need to kind of hold firm in that. The other interesting thing here is, at least at the beginning of the month, it's actually more demonstrative, like how you hold yourself and the way that you sort of make your decisions and how you're again allocating time and energy, this is going to convey a lot more than words ever could. And what we see here in the environment is someone that may try to get you to say something and get it in writing or get you to regret it. So pick and choose your words. Don't say anything that you don't want to. You can always say something like this, which is, you've given me a lot to think about. Why don't we talk again tomorrow? I need to do some research. You never have to give sort of an on-the-spot answer. And if someone puts you in the corner, say, you can find a way to say, thank you, but I really think we need to take our time here. Because guess what? You're driving the car. And that's what the Chariot's all about. You get to steer the ship a little bit. So pick your metaphor, but I want you to feel like you're in control. And notice in this one, you can hardly see the other horse. So there is a case of, I would say possibly two, looking at timing and picking something so that you can kind of get ahead of things a little bit, so that the other person they don't have time to sort of try to ensnare you in any web. You're going to get ahead of it because you know what you want to do. You're going to say it when it's appropriate, and you're not going to look back. You're going to be a leader this month in a positive way without kind of, hitting heads with someone else. I'm really impressed with the work that many of you have done prior to this month, because the Wheel of Fortune shows me that even if you didn't know it, you've set yourself up for success and opportunity this month. The wheel indicates for many of you a reset in addition to an opportunity. You'll notice oftentimes you'll see like a wheel of the year, or you'll see seasons with it. So for me, sometimes it can show a new sort of, it can be like a 1-year journey, it can be a 10-year journey, it can be just a new phase in your life. And for some of you, that could involve a change of work. It can even be a move, even though we're not seeing the tower and it's not the world. The wheel carries with it all of those connotations as well. And it's usually to your benefit. So if there's something that you've started, finish it, because the wheel is in the past. And one of the pieces of advice I would give you this month for completion, first of all, to know that you've already done what's required to get it out there and it will be successful. Don't worry so much about tailoring it to please other people. I love Six of Wands, but I don't love it when it's in reverse, because what it can indicate is sort of like groupthink or worrying about trying to sort of please the masses. And you can't make everybody happy. A lot of times innovators are surprising, right? They'll come up with an idea that initially people may say it's not going to work, but 10 years down the road, it's the standard. And so if you come up with something unusual, there could be people that, are thinking, I don't know, why do you want to go back to school? Or why do you want to do that sort of product idea? Or how do you know you're able to win a gold medal? Whatever it is that you're trying to do, if you know it, if you feel, if you see it, manifestation, holding that like Two of Pentacles world in your hand, then it's possible and you can work towards it. But the pressure and the lack of vision from people around you can be that distraction, or can be that diversion, or that misdirection. And so don't put so much feedback in this. My previous job, a portion of it for many years, I worked in like also a technical sector. So there was a lot of user experience or user testing that would happen. And sometimes if it was too small of a sample, or if we didn't grab the right people, the feedback could actually take the product or the service off track, because we were trying to kind of get the right information. But my point being, sometimes the original idea is the strongest and you can overthink it and water it down. So whatever that kind of relates to in your life, whether it's family pressure not allowing you to do something, whether it's at work and you have an idea and they're trying to kind of like dilute it, or again, someone just doesn't believe in your potential, I think all of these things could exist, then just know that you're going to have to tune that out. Those are the naysayers, because positive means, yay, we love you, we support you. Negative could be like, we don't know what you're doing. It's not necessarily the end of the world, but they may need some convincing, and this is where you can stand strong or tall, or just really find a way to be direct. Because in the environment, we have the King of Swords. And with the King of Swords in reverse, that's actually just getting straight to the point and saying, no, this is really what I need to be doing. I appreciate your feedback, but this is the direction. For those of you that feel like you're ready to start something new, particularly for those of you that are looking for a shift in work, or you're doing something in your life, it could be a relationship, it could be a volunteer job too, but it's something where you've been putting a lot into it. What I'm seeing here is that you don't want to give up this month. There's a little bit more to do, or there's a little bit more to come here with the Nine of Wands. And usually when we see this card, there's a reminder of how hard and how long you kind of worked to get where you're at. In the case of a relationship, if you're married or if you're in a business partnership, someone that you work really close with or spend a lot of time with, what I'm seeing here that you have to face here is a fear or an uncertainty, the Moon card in reverse, by the way. So if the two of you can face it together, and actually this is one of the only Moon cards where the two animals are not separated, they're together looking at the fear here, looking at the moon, going through the illusion, then you're going to be able to make it. If you can face it together, you're going to be okay. I feel some of you have this sort of pressure test that's going to happen with an important partnership in your life. So I would say give it a chance and see where it goes. And if you can make it together, then you're going to be okay. I actually feel like you have a really firm foundation. If it falls apart, then it might be time to start something new. This is that person that's falling out of your frequency instead of moving with you. So if that's the case, guess what? There's more to come. There's more people, there's more opportunities, there's more on the horizon. So you have a chance this month to really put something to the test and decide, is it what I want? Should I stay here or should I move on? The one thing I'd also like to say though is this is a time for you to be recognized. When we look at the opportunity area, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands is a card that says, I am qualified, or in this case, you are qualified. So if there's something that you're putting your hat in the ring for, so it could be a promotion, it could be asking someone to marry you, whatever it is, there's a chance for you to make something bigger, make something better. The answer should be yes. This is the time. Yes, we appreciate you. Yes, this is the time for something bigger and better to come through. If it doesn't, then you know without any uncertainty that time to move on. I have to say though, there's an interesting place many of you are at when it comes to people in your life. We have 3 cards here that are sort of at odds. So I want to break it down on how this could be for some of you. Let's start off with the single and happy people. For people that aren't looking for a relationship, that are just trying to work through the month and focus on growth, development, and opportunities. I have good news for those folks, because the first thing is there's a lot of people that seem to be coming into your life. We have the 3 of Cups. The card is reversed, which oftentimes means that you may be pulling back or holding back. It's a very sort of modified hermit card, if you will. People are inviting you, but you're saying no. And it can sometimes indicate a click, but in this case, it's actually showing that you may be feeling like, I really don't want to be around people that much. And that could be because you're deciding to focus on something that you care about. 2 of Cups doesn't have to be a person in your life. It can be something that you're passionate about, a project, something world that you want to change, something that you really just feel like this is where my heart space needs to go. So if that's the case, that's okay. But I will say this, there is opportunity that is knocking on the door, and you might be missing something, a big opportunity, in fact. So try to open up your social calendar this month and know that when it comes to work, coworkers, new developments, new ideas, there is actually strength in numbers, okay? That's the single and happy crowd. Single and looking, you have some choices to make. I feel like some of you are sick of dating because the 3 of Cups in reverse means I've had enough of trying all the dating apps, doing all this stuff. It's not working. And many of you are ready for this. And I feel like that's not a bad thing. Knowing what you want is the first step in manifesting it. I think what I'm seeing here is to really focus on being specific, being discerning, because just as with the people that were single and happy, if you're single and looking, you're still going to have a lot of opportunities. Now you just don't have to go after everything. You can really spend more time on working on yourself, which we're going to talk about in the soul development part at the end. But for now, I would say I can just see that it's, for many of you, it's time to kind of focus on what's important and who's important. We have the Moon card here in the outcome again, which I want to highlight. This is not having any sort of appetite for people that are not telling the truth, that are afraid to talk about things to you, that are somehow kind of like beating around the bush. You have to be direct this month in all interpersonal relationships. not to the point of being cruel, but I really think that heart-to-heart conversations are important. And then we can go back to the catalyst, which is assume the best, always face it with a sense of love and say, I love and care about you. I really want to talk about this. I feel like together we can handle this, and see what the person says. But if you want to know if love's coming in, if you're single and looking, yeah, I actually see a suitor coming in here. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So I think the important thing is just to be patient and to be open and to be looking, because the one thing that could get in the way of either you that are single and happy or single and looking is that you may say no to an important opportunity, an invitation to a party or special event. And in doing so, inadvertently, you'll lose a connection there. So say yes to invitations, RSVP yes. Now, for those of you in a committed relationship or relationship that's going through turmoil, doesn't matter, because I can see a little bit of both. Here's the important thing. I think sometimes when a relationship gets long in the tooth, when you've been in love for a while, when you're past the sort of honeymoon phase, a lot of couples wonder, like, did I make the right choice? And that's what Three of Cups reverse can be. It doesn't mean that you actually want to be with someone else. There's a question of, why is it again that we were together? Why are we still together? What's our path? So I think you have a little bit of a reset this month, which is how can we get back to that place where we were really excited to be in each other's energy and we really felt the support. And so the answer to the Three of Cups in reverse is the Two of Cups. And it's just like the beeping warning that you hear outside that sometimes we'll hear in this reading. You want to pay attention to that signal that's coming through and think, I have to do something this month. I have to spend some time. I have to just take it out of the sort of laundry list things that we go through in relationships. Sometimes saying, hey, did you get the groceries and pick up the kids and all of this? Actually just be present with the person face to face and say, no, really, how was your day? Are you okay? How are things going? Are we good? Spend that couple time together. It's really important. Get a babysitter, be together. Doesn't have to be a date night. It could just be like, spending some time together talking. I think that's going to be really important because it feels like there are some things that have to come out. It's important to be direct again and take care of that. That being said, I have to kind of highlight one thing. Because I see both the Three of Cups and the Moon card. The Three of Cups was reversed, the Moon was reversed. But these two cards can show that there's a third party that could be making things difficult. It doesn't have to be someone that's cheating on you. It could just be a relative. It could be one of your children or something that's acting up and it's causing friction in the family. So that third party needs to be dealt with. Either, first of all, the two of you need to get in connection and kind of harmonize on what it is that you want to do about it. And then something needs to be said or done. So that's important. If somebody's not telling the truth and you caught them in a lie, that's the other thing. You just want to say, I love you. I love the life we built together, but it's important that we're honest. And I feel like this is something that we have to work through. This can't happen again. You have to stand up for yourself. So for many of you, there's that point in the road where you're going to decide, is this something that we can get through? Okay. What I like about the Moon card, though, in the outcome is this is saying that you're going to break through illusions this month. And there's a lot of creative energy with this. There's a lot of release that comes through with the Moon. So once you get through that, for any of you that have a difficult conversation, have you ever felt this sort of euphoric release that happens when you've just sort of said what you need to and it's okay? No matter what happens, that's the message I get with the Moon card, is that it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. The other thing is there could be a work opportunity on the horizon. You might also be wanting to start some new business or sell a product or a service. As I said earlier, I feel like this is a really good month for that. I saw some of you commenting still about the third party. The important thing here is to remember, pick and choose your battles. This is a battle worth fighting, though. If someone's getting in the way, then you have to look and see, am I being respected? And if not, this may not be the best investment. We talked about the investment. If someone is not giving you the same as what you're putting in, that's your answer. That's the litmus test. And if they're not willing to go through couples therapy, etc., that's also the answer. So think it through. But we have a lot of really positive energy. And one thing that I want to end on instead of that energy is that you can pull in something higher and brighter. Your ego card is the Two of Cups. This means that even if you have to have a very difficult conversation, whether it's going to court or standing up to somebody or just being direct, you're always going to be able to temper it with love, to find the best way. And you can actually sometimes make people see things from a different light if you decide not to kind of go in head first, go in heart first with the conversations this month, okay? Let's expand the forecast now, and we're going to take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Health this month is actually not bad. It's a card of patience. We have awaiting results. So for some of you that are trying to make a change, so maybe one of your resolutions this year was to, get more fit or to lower your cholesterol or whatever it is. I feel like you're making good progress, but it doesn't happen overnight. And this card is basically all about patience and diligence. And we see the tree kind of overprinting this person's outfit. So what I'm seeing here is stay grounded in your approach, stay firm, stay strong, and keep doing what you're doing. It feels like you're on the right path with that. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about growth and development and recovery after a period of struggle. So keep your eye on where you're headed and celebrate the progress that you're making. And even if it's a plateau, that's still not going in the opposite direction. So celebrate even a plateau for those of you that are trying to lose weight or anything like that. You're doing great. Keep it up, okay? For some of you, you might be impatient because this could also be if you're trying to get pregnant or you're trying to even wait for something in your life to happen. The main message that's coming through this month is to be kind, to be patient, and also to just give it time to unfold. So overall, I like what I'm seeing there, but it's never fun to sort of think, oh, I gotta be patient. Yes, you have to be patient. It might be worth looking at, I posted an update on the manifestation video because I recently had something that was picked up in Elle magazine, but take a look at my original manifestation video. It's really good, and it talks a little bit about how you can work on letting go and kind of playfully trying to make something happen. Because if you hold on too tight, it's kind of like what we see here with the chariot. The horses would kind of not know what to do. So it's like riding a chariot. You have to know exactly when to tense up those ropes, or when you're walking a dog. So as you're leading opportunities in your life, you don't want to pull too tight. You don't want to be too tense because they don't know how to react. So know where you're going. Trust that, just like if I'm walking little Apollo, even as I'm talking here, I'm not kind of like going crazy and everything, or he would get nervous too. Dogs, children, and also opportunities in your life, they definitely read off of your energy. So stay in a nice, calm place, and that's going to help you. Let me quickly look at the other cards because I can usually come up with other messages. I think moderation is key. We've been talking about this for the past couple of months, but Three of Cups in reverse can show that for some of you, you've overcome something that was too much. It could be like overworking, overeating, overdrinking, even substance abuse. This month, there could also be some situation that pops up that triggers that. Doesn't mean that you have to go down that road. It just shows that there's a trigger, and that's natural. That's part of recovery. And even if you are, if you fall off the boat a little bit here, you'll have a chance to realign. Stay positive, and again, celebrate progress, and don't be hard on yourself. I think the important thing is just to get right back into the program. The other thing I definitely do see for some of you, challenges around pregnancy, because we have the moon card in reverse. And for women, that can show difficulties with regular cycles, also conceiving. And that's what we're seeing here, being patient. Remembering that stress and anxiety actually are not very helpful when it comes to conception. I would say do other things, try to decompress a little bit, and just enjoy each other's company. That's the most important thing, because when you are conceiving, you want to bring that child into the planet with love, with joy, not with a feeling of we have to do this now. It's too much stress. It's too much pressure. It should be fun. You want to have it be a moment of joy and happiness. Okay. So let go a little bit. Timing. It's all in divine timing. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it, actually. Focusing on your vitality, because we have the strength card in the center. So get enough sleep. I would say that's the other thing. Just make sure that you're getting enough rest. All right, when it comes to wealth this month, we have a reversal. Let me read the card upright. It says, have you asked your angels for help with this? I would also extend this to be more symbolic of just asking for help, because a lot of us have a hard time when it comes to work, to figure out what am I going to do? How am I going to? And with wealth, it's also money. So I've noticed that I think it's changed with the newest generation that just came out. But like, and I don't know the numbers and letters for all of these Gen Z, Gen Y, millennials, all this, but I would say the last 20 years, let's just put a year cap on it. I think we've seen a change with people that came out in the last 20 years where they're more comfortable talking about salaries, 401k, investments, things like that. When I was a kid, that wasn't talked about. We didn't talk about, what my parents were going to do when they retired and if they had enough money. I think it's really important for families to talk about money, for friends to talk about money, and to kind of break through some of the taboos and fears around things, whether it's debt or if you have a lot of money, what to do with it. There's a lot of resources out there. Don't be afraid to go to a professional, most importantly, because you don't want to get too much secondhand knowledge. But I would say if you are starting a family, this is a good thing to start to bring into it, is discussions around smart finances and how to deal with challenges, how to deal with debt, what happens when you're kind of beyond your means. So wherever you're at in your particular path, you have help. That being said, I feel like some of you have a breakthrough month. These are great cards with respect to wealth, money, and career. So all of these cards are multifaceted. The important thing here is, are you ready to take this new opportunity? Because I feel like some of you could be either feeling like you are tied in place. The Chariot can sometimes be pulling you back. So it could be because someone won't let you go, or that you're afraid, will they be okay without me? And I think if there's a growth opportunity, it's always worth exploring that growth and seeing if that's something that you can do. So I would say go for it if it feels good. Let's look at love now. Love is not just, what we see in a Hallmark movie. It's how you're spending your heart space energy, how you're connecting with others. For some of you, someone's stepping out of your life or something's coming to a closure this month. We have completion. But it's a good sort of energy with this. This reminds me of the Judgment card. Once you understand what you need to go through, what's going on, then you know exactly how to move on to the next thing. And with the Two of Cups in your ego and with the Knight of Pentacles in the opportunity area, this tells me that the minute you let go of something new is ready to come in. It just needs space. And you need to also know that if you're continuing to invest in something that doesn't return on your love, your energy, then it's not worth it. On the bright side, also, this shows me that you could be coming to a new phase, like I said. So you could be completing a dating phase and deciding, all right, it's time to get married. It's time to go to the next level. I think things get serious in one way or another this month. You're going to have a conversation about something that's important with respect to a key relationship in your life. So either you're the one or you're not the one, or we need to talk about something that's going on because I heard this secondhand. Whatever it is, it's going to improve the state of your mind, your energy, and ultimately your relationship, because you can now see each other for who you truly are. You're going to break through the illusion that's in the Moon card. And as we look now at Destiny, this card flipped out earlier, and the card is reversed. But if you look at the illustration carefully, it's somebody that there's two things that they could be doing. The first thing that I see is someone that's not ready for something coming through in their life. They're turning their head a bit and they're pushing it back. So be aware of anything that you're doing that could actually be pushing away something coming into your life that could be good. Because with the Two of Cups, there's someone that wants to help, that wants to be there. The other thing is you have more power than you realize, because with the Nine of Wands, this is a very strong card. You always see the person with a bandage. They've always been through a lot. They're standing with all of those wands around them, showing that I have a lot of power, a lot of energy, a lot of survival instincts. I can do anything. That's why you have the Strength card here at the center. But it's reversed, so there's a little bit of disbelief. I want you to stand in your power this month if you're ready, because this card is a little bit uncertain, a little bit unsteady. And I think that for you to truly be effective and to make that entrance, then you have to really believe in yourself. It's interesting. They're waiting for you. Have you noticed these two? This is normally what the Six of Wands looks like. You would normally see someone in a, like riding a horse coming into the Six of Wands. So I feel like it may not be the tribe or the group or the family that you're with. There's someone else, though, that is going to be receiving your energy. And that's your true Six of Wands that's going to happen in the future. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to kind of create this new foundation, this new family. So sometimes we are not always kind of, when we're out of our body, we choose our current situation, like where we're going to be born, what language we're going to speak, what we're going to look like. But that's just the initial programming. That's the operating system, but it's not exactly how we're going to be our entire life. So you're going to reboot, you're going to rewrite, you're going to upgrade your operating system, and you may find a better environment, a better way to be. And that's what I see for many of you, is a creation of a new tribe, people that actually do want to receive what you're putting out into the universe, okay? So some really, really exciting energy for you. I'd like to take a moment to recap what we talked about, and then we're going to do something special. As I said, we're going to focus on soul growth. So the beginning part is all about the month of March, but the second part is about the soul growth for the whole year. And each month I look at a different piece of the soul that we can work on, because I had a drama teacher that talked about this once, but it's kind of like we're a diamond. And we show different facets of ourselves to different people at different times. When we're in this incarnation, I think we have one facet that most people see. The work that we're going to do in the next section is going to help you look at other facets and basically have more brilliance. I want everyone to shine brighter and to kind of be more prismatic. And so that's what we're going to be doing. And probably that's what I'm getting. We need to focus on sort of diamond or crystalline energy. So I think that's what we're going to do in the meditation. All right, let's go ahead and review what we talked about. And let's do that now. All right, as I was saying, when I was meditating earlier this morning, far beyond when I even started picking the cards and getting set up, I saw a rocket in flight. And to me, that was showing that there was a big movement happening in your life. I want you to try to stay on course with what matters the most to you. There are people in your life that might be trying to intercept. There's naysayers. They came here in the form of the Six of Wands in reverse. They look like trustworthy people. They might have really great qualifications, but they lack imagination. And so I want you to keep the imagination, keep the vision, and know that this distraction is actually proof and evidence that you're on the right path, that you're making progress. And sometimes when we are doing sort of spiritual growth as light workers, shadow energy comes into our life. And it's a good sign. It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's because the universe is saying, have you integrated all the messages that I gave you? And if you can get through this little hiccup, the answer is yes, and great things come through. Center card, strength reverse. Take care of yourself. And one of the things that we looked at here in the catalyst was to make sure that you love yourself as much as you love others, even though the card said some different things. The other thing, of course, is to always try to have communication with a sense of believing people are, seeing the best in them, always trying to model love in your actions, in your communications, etc. But not to the expense of your health. If there's a point where someone just doesn't respect you, it's time to move on. It's time to step away. Control issues are definitely important this month. The Chariot card and the Strength card are showing a tug of war. For some of you, there's just a quick message to get ahead of that other person, and don't delay. Because I think if you act quickly and with confidence and you're very direct, the person isn't going to try to get in the cracks there. You're going to basically solve that problem before it even gets started. I see that you've set yourself up for success and opportunity. We see that opportunity right here. There's a little bit of work that you have to kind of get through before that happens. And the first thing for many of you is, do I want to stay? Is there something worth fighting for in this current situation, whether it's a job or a relationship? And if the answer is yes, then you're going to work through that. But I still see shifting and moving happening for you. It's just a question of when. Six of Wands in reverse, again, don't listen to the naysayers. Don't try to please everybody. For those of you that are musicians, writers, artists, or anybody in a creative field, even filmmakers, this is about sometimes trying to create something that will be popular instead of telling the story or doing the thing that your heart says you want to do. So follow your heart first and foremost. That's going to create the most strength and most opportunity. Nine of Wands, You're a fighter, you're a survivor, like that old song, you can handle anything that's coming your way. But know when enough is enough, and you're going to have a chance this month to really see if that other person wants to work with you. I love this moon card. It's the only one I've seen in a while, maybe, that has both animals on the same side, looking at things together, facing that path together. Three of Cups reversed. There's chances to connect with people. Say yes if you can. There are people that want to come into your life. Some of you are getting more discerning, more picky because you're ready to settle down. Some of you are in a relationship where a third party is making things difficult. Very straightforward communication is important. You don't have to be cruel, but you do have to be direct. Many of you will find a way to work through this or may decide to move on to greener pastures. That's up to you, and that's something that you're going to have to work through on your own. The good news is at the end, it's going to be okay. Whatever you decide, it's the right thing. The moon reverse is releasing that tension. And sometimes you can cut it with a knife. You're going to be able to kind of just release all of this and things will flow again. Prosperity will flow in your life as well, as we see with the moon there. Many of you are having your patience tried a little bit this month when it comes to matters of health. Health is mind, body, and spirit. I didn't say that earlier, but I'm saying that now. So it's emotional patience. It's also patience in seeing results in your body. Just be kind with yourself. It's okay. And if you are trying to create a change, whether it's to get pregnant or to see a different result in your body, you can't do it overnight. And if you do too much too fast, you could actually end up injuring yourself, as we see with this card. Moderation is key. Sleep is really important. I would say really have a routine. That's what the Chariot is saying on top of Strength. Whether it's working out, sleeping, eating, whatever your routine is, be very, very adherent to that. And that's how the results will happen. Okay. Also, just be honest with yourself. The moon in reverse is sometimes about trying to fool yourself or others. So just be honest with yourself about what it is that you need to change. With wealth, don't be afraid to reach out, ask for help, talk to people in your friends and family circle, but more importantly, ask very direct questions. That's what we keep seeing with the King of Swords in reverse. Be direct. It's a good card. King and Queen of Swords in reverse gets a bad rap, but it's actually not bad at all. It's just about cutting straight to the point. And I think if there's something that you need or want or have to fight for, this is the month to do it, even if that means going to court. There's a lot of good cards showing that. I do think we have a retrograde period, so try to time it accordingly. But guess what? Life happens, and sometimes you have to really act quickly. And if that's the case, I think you'll be out of it by the time March hits, so that should be fine. As we look at love and relationships, it's about letting things run their course. So for many of you, it's time to move on. For many of you, it's time to get serious. It just feels like stagnation can't really exist this month. There has to be a shift. There has to be movement. And no movement is actually going to help you make the decision to move the needle forward. And finally, own your strength. Don't push things away if you're deserving of them or if you're ready for them. It's your chance. It's your opportunity to shine. And I think it's important to allow yourself to do that. All right, let me take a drink here, and I'm then going to help you with the soul development portion of this reading. All right. So every month before we meditate, I like to look at past, present, and future influences that are going to help you work through something. Because many of you are watching this in February, even though it's for March, there's a chance to, and your energy is kind of around love because we see it everywhere. So what I want to do this month is focus on self-love, healing, and forgiveness. I'm going to pull 3 cards to see where that might exist for your sign in particular this month. And then we're going to work on clearing and cleaning you out a little bit because I saw that crystal energy. I almost want to put us in a diamond or in a sort of crystal environment. So I'll work with something like that in the meditation in a moment. So let's see what's coming through, past, present, and future influences that will help you heal and help you love, basically. So for those of you that say I don't do enough with love, I do, but it's a different kind. I'm really focusing on loving yourself and pulling in higher love. I'm not just saying, who's coming into your life this month. Although, by the way, it could be an earth sign. All right. Past influences. All right. So with the Page of Wands, this is really knowing who you are. And I feel like many of you were at that point of knowing exactly who you are and what you want. I like that we have a page. It's usually a child. The important thing with this is there has to be some sort of execution on that internal idea. Pages deliver messages, but the Page of Wands sometimes is still in a place where they're afraid or uncertain or not kind of aware of how they can communicate it. And I think this month, as we saw, there's some great things that want to come through, and you don't want to be shy. I feel like you could really make a splash this month. And it's all in how you market, how you say it, how you deliver the message. So whatever you're trying to do with respect to your life, to your love, to your work, you have it, you've got it. So look at yourself. If you have to look in the mirror, and I ask people this, by the way, if you were to look in the mirror today, could you look and say, I love who I am? We're not talking just about how you look, but who you are. Because I see something here that's really worth celebrating. If you're having a hard time answering yes, you have great ideas, you have great energy, and this is showing that all you have to do is recognize that. Let's see what might be holding you back from that as we look at present influences. Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, so for some of you, you feel like people have let you down, walked away, left you, deserted you. You might feel like it's hard to fit in because even the Three of Cups energy can be about a clique. Remember what I said earlier. The family, the environment, the group that you're in, whether you're in school or retired, it might be time to find a different tribe. We're looking now at marching into a new group. And so it's okay if people didn't show up the way they should have. It's not nice, it's not fun, but it actually is opening you up. Look at what they're doing. They're actually moving towards a star. They're moving towards something better on the horizon. I read with another deck, the Robin Wood deck, and I believe the Six of Swords, if you look in the distance, there's a little hill and there's a star hidden in the hill as well. So you're moving to a better future is what I'm seeing, but you have to let go of who has hurt you in the past. So we'll work on healing. For many of you, there's been someone that deserted you, or you have to walk away and it hurts. So release. I'm going to help you with a little bit of a mini contract release, but focus on, again, the star that you're headed towards. And now let's look at the future to see what you can really do to get towards that goal, and if there's anything blocking you, because now I see what's happening in the present. Let's fast forward a little bit, looking at March and April, and see what's coming through. Five of Wands. Okay, competition, getting too busy perhaps to work on yourself. And again, with all of these Wands cards, I think you can tune out the people a little bit, because sometimes with 5 and 6 of Wands, you get lost in the shuffle. And remember, when we go back to the center, look at how strong you are. You have the Strength card, and it's not fighting that beast. That was why I was saying it's maybe not worth it for some of you. And we also have the Chariot, which is one of the best management cards. So you have what it takes. This is like a baby manager. I usually want to see the Queen or the King of Wands, but this is why I think that you can make great things happen this month. You just have to take that leap of faith. Be the boss, basically, okay? So I'm going to help you with the meditation now. I have enough to know how to help you. We really want to focus on seeing your true potential, letting go of people who can't see that in your life right now, doing a little bit of a mini contract release, and then moving past them. I feel like we almost want to leapfrog over the 5 of Wands, getting past the busy work, getting to the final result, really kind of sticking with that energy. I'm glad you guys like baby manager. All right, close your eyes now. By the way, if you can't do this right now because you're at work, you're in public transit or whatever, come back later and you can always watch this on the replay. And if you joined late, this is available immediately after I finish the broadcast, so don't worry about it. I also find meditations like this are best if you do them a couple of times. So no worries if you have to come back. But if you can stick around, please do it. There's power in numbers, and the fact that we're all meditating together is going to help. All right, close your eyes, relax. Let's go into the physical before we go into the metaphysical. So I want you to do a quick scan of your body. Imagine that you have this sort of beam of light that you're going to take through your physical and also energetic body, and see if there's anywhere that you pause. This is actually something that I learned in Reiki. You'll take your hands over someone's body and you work through until you feel something, and then you stop. So if there's anything where you feel like there's a disruption, I want you to take an extra breath and pull that beam of light into that space and start to heal it. So let's breathe a few times. because some of you may have multiple areas where it's needing healing. I'm going to try to guide all of us together as we do this. With the first breath, work in the top 2 or 3 chakras. We'll be looking at the crown, the third eye, and the throat to begin. Inhale and bring that beam of light into those spaces. Allow the energy to do its work, to heal anything, remove anything, elevate anything that exists within that space. And exhale, letting it go, sending it into the planet, into the horizon, away from you, only allowing the light to exist as you're breathing. Moving now from the throat to the heart to the third chakra, those center chakras, where you're holding your ability to speak your mind, to speak your heart, to feel your heart's sort of path and desire and journey. And then also having the power to do that with your third chakra, bringing all of those into alignment, seeing all the chakras spinning and lighting up. Inhale, seeing a beam of light. Imagine the sun shining through your crown, all the way into those middle 3 chakras. Letting go, letting the darker energies or frequencies fall away. Just as when I smudge, I always say that there's a chance for them to elevate and become something better. So you never know when an upgrade can happen. Just imagine that you're upgrading all of the energy in your body. If energy needs or wants to stay, it has to meet the new frequency, otherwise it falls away. Now working on the third, the second, and the first chakras, where we hold power, where we hold sexual and creative energy, and where we sometimes have fear of safety or being grounded or stable. Pull the energy again from the top all the way through those lower chakras. A really deep breath this time. Inhale. Let go, send it like a lightning rod through the planet, through your feet, feeling now that you are connected to the earth. Before we go into the crystalline diamond frequency meditation here in a moment, I want you really to connect to the planet. Something that I answered, I think, in the Q&A that I talked to people to last month was that it's important to ground. So before we go into really kind of going out into space, I want you to feel a connection to the planet. So if you have a darker crystal, like anything that or even just a rock from the earth, it doesn't matter what it is, just something that you feel that will connect you with the planet, you can hold on to that right now. Obsidian was what I was going to say, like obsidian or lava rock or some sort of darker energy rock. You can hold on to that because it's going to connect you to the lower planes. You can also put your feet on the planet, or like I have a marble table, I can hold on to that marble table and connect with Mother Earth for a second. Send her some love, say thank you for supporting me. Feel her support, her love, as she allows you to just be, and let go. Allow your body to kind of really sit in space, in time here, and just feel that the earth has you, okay? Like a big hand that we would see in Rider-Waite. She's holding you and keeping you safe. Now, with that feeling of being supported by the divine feminine energy that is Mother Earth, I want you to focus on your heart space. The true energy of that heart space is green, but we're going to be pulling in another color, which is just pure white or silver light, the color that we would see if we were looking into a diamond. I want you to see that diamond energy as your heart. You can see it in the shape of a diamond, or you can just see a beautiful crystal in the place of your heart. And I want you to start to look at the different facets of your heart space, of your soul space, really is what we're looking at. The first thing I want you to do is to see the things that you love. One thing that I was looking at was the ability to develop new ideas, to really have an amazing intelligence. So look at how great your ideas are, how strong you can be, and decide in this moment that I'm going to own my strength. Whoever in my past has made me feel less than, has made me second guess it. Maybe it was a mother, maybe it was a father, maybe it was a teacher. Whoever that was, they didn't truly see you. They were dealing with their own issues. They were projecting. As we looked at that destiny card, one of the things that it could also be is a mirror. And one of the really effective ways to protect yourself is to create a mirror. And so you're seeing yourself, but I also want you now to create mirror-like energy around you, almost as if you're conjuring a special protection spell. And I want you to see that people are going to get what they send to you. If they send you love, they're going to get love. If they send you lower frequencies, it's not going to work. It's going to go back to source. In this moment, I want you to send back, return to sender, basically, anything that was given to you that shouldn't have been. It was misdirected. This is a chance, just as the Postal Service would do, to return to sender. So see the person, people, situations in your life where you were hurt, where you were misdirected, where you were somehow pulled off path, and send it back to source with love, with kindness, with appreciation for the lesson that it taught you. Breathe in. As you breathe in, call your energy back into your body. As you exhale, push back that energy that was given to you that was not your own, that should not have been pushed in your path. Release it. It's now going back to the source. You now have your strength back. You're no longer that baby boss. You are the actual boss. You have the energy that you should have always had, the power that you should have had. And it happened when you were small, and that's why there was a little bit of stunting that was happening. So you have your energy back. You're strong. Look in the mirror now, your own mirror, the crystalline energy that you're holding in your heart and your hands. See the strength, see the intelligence, see the dignity. It's always been there, even if others didn't see it, even if you didn't see it. And if you didn't see it, celebrate it. Maybe there's tears of happiness that are happening. It's there, it's real. See the people that have left you, that have deserted you, that have disappointed you, whether it's in the past or the present, whether it's a fear of desertion, of being alone, of being an outsider, being outside of the clique. And remember what I showed you. There's another tribe that wants you to come in, the true family, the chosen family. Say goodbye to the family that wasn't there for you. Let it go. Whether it's a deep exhale, whether it's tears, whether it's relief, it's done. That lesson is learned. Those people, let them go. It's not worth the energy. See the people on the horizon that are waiting for you, that are waving their hands. Feel a sense of belonging, a trust that you could go there, that you're going to be seen, that they're going to see these new facets of you that you're creating, that you're carving as we're doing this meditation. See yourself there already. Take a deep breath and imagine that the breath could bring you closer to that future. Let go of doubt, fear, uncertainty. Look at your crystal. What is it that you want to create in your life? Is it love? Is it career enhancements, upgrades, opportunities, raises? Is it showing your true colors? A prism isn't just one light. We're starting with the golden and the white light, but if you look at a diamond, it shows a prism. You're everything. You're not just one thing, you're everything. I want you to really meditate on that. I am everything. I can do whatever I want. There are two songs that come to mind. I know a lot of you laugh because I'm kind of like I'm a jukebox sometimes when it comes to this, but I think of the Shaka Khan song where she's every woman, she's everything. That's a great one. There's also a new song by Kesha where she says she's everything and not such articulate terms. So I want you to think of this. The people around you that can't see this, they just lack imagination. So you are going to broadcast this feeling that I can do everything and anything that I want. I see my chosen family, my chosen tribe. And there's another song that comes to mind, which I think it is it Spectrum? Yes, it's Spectrum by Florence and the Machine, where she says, say my name, and basically you see all the colors illuminate, and it's a spectrum of light. So that's what I want you to see. See your heart space be that spectrum. You don't need to go to the negative energy that was in Kesha's song or the exclusive energy that might have been in Shaka Khan's. I want you to think of being everything and all of the colors in the rainbow, all of the divine and masculine, divine feminine and masculine. You're all of that. We don't have to sort of divide ourselves anymore. So see the all-inclusive energy in that spectrum of light. See yourself as one of those beams and see the beams reaching out to the pieces of your life that you want to heal, to the things that you want to create. Take a nice deep breath and allow that spectrum to be your new auric shield. You are not going to be one color. You're going to be all the colors in the rainbow, and you can have a rainbow over top of you if you'd like. hold that rainbow as we take our last and final breath together. Inhale. Put your left hand on top of your heart, your right on top of that. Feel the energy now in this new crystalline presence. Feel that you are that crystal. Feel that actually, if you want to, you can have that crystal exist in a larger scale around you. You can see the rainbow above you. You're going to be able to accomplish all that you want in your life now. Open your eyes. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying this new spectrum of energy that we brought through. And I just want to say thanks. This is important stuff that we're working on. I really want you to feel that you have the power to be more than what you were. Whoever kind of came in and made you feel less than, that was from the past, okay? So let's talk for a moment about just some housekeeping things here, and then we'll wrap up here. First of all, again, if you ever need to see this, it's always available for replay afterwards. So know that that's the case. If you liked what you saw here today and you have a friend or family member that you think might benefit from it, one of the best ways that you can give back is by sharing the video. So if you want to share it on social media, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it, because that's actually part of my planetary goal, which is to help, to heal, to educate, and to create more light workers on the planet. So know that that in and of itself is a wonderful way to give back. If you ever want to also give a little bit more, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I saw we had a channel member that joined today. You can click the join button, and the way that you can do it right here and right now is through this little icon here that's next to the smiley face emoji, little $sign. There's something that says join, and that way you can give back on a monthly basis. You can also join me on Patreon, and my username on Patreon, YouTube, and Facebook is just this, Nicholas Ashbaugh. So feel free to join me there if you would like. I'd love to have you on all the social media networks. On Facebook, also, I will do stories, which will remind you of when new videos are coming out, when there's anything newsworthy. And I do the same thing with Instagram. I have a slightly different username there. There's an underscore between the first and last name. So feel free to join me on Instagram. There's also a ton of cute pictures of Apollo on Instagram. So self-promotion there for the puppy. Feel free to join him as well. Twitter, it's Ashbaugh. And all of this is being also put out by my moderators. And when all else fails, all of this can be found on my website. If any of you are old school and just want to say thanks through PayPal, you can do paypal.me/Nicholas Ashbaugh. Again, just go to my website. All of that information is there. And I just want to say thank you so much. I just got through a milestone. I couldn't have done that without your love and support. And I just want to really encourage you, by the way, if you haven't looked at the Q&A, to take a look at it. I've put that under the intuitive development umbrella because I answered a lot of questions, and I hope to be celebrating more milestones with you so I can do more videos just like that. I also plan on doing some more user sort of supported videos, so people on Patreon and then channel members, maybe viewers choice or viewers submitted questions. I'll do more like that in the future. Anyway, shine brightly. Let your spectrum show this month. Love yourself, and know that there's some really great movement when it comes to career, money, also relationships. Whatever changes you make, they're for the better. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Ryan and Maria, for helping answer questions while I was working today. And thank all of you, too. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.